guys, how are you? Welcome to another episode of One Guy and One Beer. I'm your host, Nick Ostick. Thank you so much for tuning in with us here on this overcast Sunday afternoon, at least where I'm at, here in the thriving metropolis of Galesburg, Illinois. I just realized it always seems like I'm recording on dreary Sundays, and I seem like I start every episode by saying that. You guys must think I live on some sort of, I don't know, land without sunshine, but I promise that is not the case. Just happened that way, I swear. But hopefully today's beer will maybe bring a little sunshine into my little world here and yours as well. Really excited about today's show. We're going to have a beer from a brewery that I've never tried anything from before. We're talking about Penrose Brewing. They're something of a new brewery, so it should be interesting to see what they're all about. Before we get going, I want to give a big thank you and shout out to friend of the show, Todd Newberg. He donated this beer for us. So thank you so much, Todd. I really, really appreciate it. It's super cool that he was able to sort of give me this beer. So I could try, again, a beer from a brewery that I've never experienced before, and then that I get to share it with you guys. So thank you, Todd. Super cool of you. Penrose Brewing, like I said, they're somewhat new. I couldn't get a definitive sense of when they first sort of opened their doors, but they're out of Geneva, Illinois, which is sort of a northwestern suburb of Chicago. And they specialize in Belgian-style ales. And anyone who knows me knows that I am a sucker for anything Belgian. Belgian beers are my jam, as the kids are fond of saying, I hope. So, really excited to try it. This particular beer here, I believe it's just called P2. You can see on the label there. And it's a Belgian-inspired pale ale, with sort of the unofficial start to summer being last weekend. I figured it'd be good to do something a little bit lighter, a little bit more summery, hopefully something kind of easy drinking, something you want to have 3 or 4 of, outside if you're barbecuing or cooking out or, stuff like that. So it's nice to sort of move away from the big heavy stouts and sort of those bigger beers that we sort of covered in previous episodes. So, Belgian-style pale ale. What's the difference between a regular pale ale versus a Belgian-style or Belgian-inspired pale ale? More or less, American pale ales, they've got that sort of really fairly aggressive hop presence, hop bitterness. Obviously, in America, everything is bigger, right? If we make a pale ale, it's going to be hoppier. If we make a stout, it's going to be bigger. But a Belgian-inspired pale ale, you're still going to have some of that hoppiness. You're going to have a little bit of that bitterness for sure. But you're going to also have sort of more that those Belgian yeast qualities, right? So those sort of fruity esters, those sort of, there'd be some banana notes, some pears, some of those more, gotta fix that. There we go. Some more of those candied fruits. And then obviously with that Belgian yeast, you might have sort of a little bit bigger body too, or a little bit fuller beer than, say, maybe your American pale ale. That's more or less the difference there. So why don't we get to cracking, shall we? Woo! Man, that sucker popped right off there, didn't she? I don't know if you guys could hear that. My goodness. And I just from cracking it, I don't think this is going to be an aromatically challenged beer. I can already smell that Belgian yeast just exploding out of the top of the bottle. So let's give it a little pour here and see what we've got. Oh, wow. I don't know if you guys can see, but head for days on there. Definitely. So if you guys have one of these beers laying around and you're thinking about cracking it open, pour gently. Do not pour straight down, for sure. But taking a look, really, really pretty beer. Great sort of rocky white head. Very nice sticking around. Um, Definitely sort of a golden color to it. Pretty transparent for sure. I can see right through to the other side of the glass. Um, Good carbonation. I mean, bubbles are just racing up to the top of that beer for sure. Um, yeah, definitely. I'm just like part of my thing with Belgian beers um, is just the head retention and just sort of the style or the look of the head. It's that really rocky head that just sticks around no matter what you do. I mean, it is persistent. It is a persistent head. It sounds worse than I wanted it to, but that's all right. But yeah, definitely pretty, very very pretty beer. As it sort of sits in the glass, golden, but I also get a little bit of amber highlights in the light to it for sure. Um, it's a nice, interesting change. Let's go in for a sniff, shall we? Yeah. So really a lot of Belgian yeast. That sort of like bready um, quality to it that a lot of Belgian beers have. And that yeast again lends itself towards some of those fruity esters, like I was mentioning a second ago. So bananas, pear, clove. There's definitely a clove note I'm getting out of this for sure. Um, there's a minerality to it, sort of a saltiness. Something a little bit biscuity actually, so maybe not necessarily like a bread, but like a cracker or a cracker rather, or a biscuity note to it for sure. And something a little bit tropical too, which I wouldn't necessarily think I would get in a Belgian-inspired pale ale, but a certain tropicality to it. Yeah, maybe mango, maybe a little bit of mango. Yeah, a little bit of mango, but definitely banana, pear, clove. Those to me, I can get those right off the top. And there's a creaminess to this as well. It smells like it's gonna be sort of I don't know, luxurious perhaps. We'll go with that word today. But going for a sip. Um, Medium bodied, light to medium bodied for sure. Great carbonation. I mean, the effervescence here is really really outstanding. It's a fun beer to drink. That high level of carbonation just makes it very very lively, very active. Um, um, mm. A lot of Belgian yeast up front. Sort of that Belgian like candied sugar kind of thing. Like the fruit notes that I'm getting in here are kind of like a candied fruit. So the pear for me is still pretty present. The banana is present for sure. But they're candied pears, they're candied bananas, like kind of like a banana laffy taffy kind of thing. Um, um, Pretty dry, definitely. That sweetness that you get in the beginning from that sugar, definitely it sort of falls away and it ends very very dry. Um, um, yeah, definitely very that the malt there is almost like a pilsner malt in that it's very like I said, it's very crackery, um, very 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 biscuity. There's an earthiness to this that I like as well. Mm. And it's super easy drinking too, which is really I think one of the best parts about it is that it's not a yeah, everything's great. All those being a little bothersome, but that's all right. But yeah, super easy drinking. Um, Definitely a beer that I think is made to be consumed outdoors for sure. And you can drink a few of them. I think it only comes in at 5.5% alcohol, so definitely one that you can have a few of. Give myself a little bit of extra pour there. The bitterness is starting to accumulate a little bit as it sits on my palate. Not unpleasantly, but yeah, it's definitely there. You kind of get too. This is also in the quality of Belgian yeast, and I didn't realize it till just now in the second pour in the nose. There's a sort of a sulfur quality, like a sulfurousness. For lack of a better term, almost kind of like a fartiness to this in the nose, which people might find off-putting. I think that's one of my favorite traits of that Belgian-style beer is that sort of that sulfury, mineral earthiness to it. And yeah, it's pretty prevalent in the nose now. And now that I smell it, I kind of can't unsmell it. But a little bit of white grape too. Bananas, pears, white grape for sure. But yeah, super easy drinking, very, very lively. Really just nice, solid summer beer. What would I pair this with? It's fairly delicate, so I don't want something that's gonna sort of bowl it over, right? Because it is a sort of a delicate beer. I could see maybe almost a nice, slightly sharp cheddar cheese with this. I think that might complement the sort of the bitterness that I'm getting on the finish. Although says hi in his own sort of weird way. So maybe like a nice sharp cheddar cheese. Some kind of cookout food. I could see maybe a fish fry. Actually, I think we go really okay. That's what you want. You want a fish fry with this. You want fish. You want fish and chips or fish and French fries. I think that would go very, very well with this. You get the bite from the tartar sauce. I think would play very, very nicely in there too. Yeah, pub food, fish and chips, French fries, sharp cheese. I think that would actually go very, very well with this beer. So, yeah, great beer. So that was P2. It's just an awful name, but that's what they're going with. P2 Belgian-inspired Pale Ale from Penrose Brewing. Would I get it again? Yeah, I would definitely. I guess it's a nice, easy summer drinker. What am I gonna go on a scale of 5? I give it a 3.5, 3.75. I mean, it's a solid beer. It doesn't necessarily blow my mind. But hey, back deck, 75 degrees, cookout food, something you can have, like I said, 3 or 4 of and not be totally gone to the world. I'd reach for this happily. So yeah, definitely need to check out more of their stuff. Todd, thank you again so much for donating this beer and letting me share it with all you guys. In the meantime, that's going to do it for today's show. But until we talk again, if you want to donate beers, guys, you're more than welcome to do that. If you have questions, comments, concerns, suggestions for beers you want to see on the show, please drop me a line. I've enjoyed the few emails that I've received so far, so please keep them coming. You can do that at oneguyOnebeer@gmail.com. You guys can find me on the Facebooks, on the Twitters, on the website itself, and on the YouTube page. So please, leave comments, leave suggestions, all that stuff. I love hearing from you guys. So that will do it for this week. Actually give myself just a wee bit more, because you know what? Like I said, it's not the flashiest thing in the world, but it's damn good. So until next time, guys, go get this beer, and I'm going to keep drinking. Cheers.